The last part of this chapter is organogenesis. Now coming to the first, that is organogenesis. What is organogenesis? Formation of organs, as can be seen from the word. So it is a process of formation of the organs and tissues in the embryo, and it starts in the 3rd week of pregnancy. Once the organ starts forming, the embryo now will be called as the fetus. So generally up to 8 weeks of pregnancy it is referred to as the embryo, then it is called as the fetus. Now the first sign of organogenesis is notogenesis, that is differentiation of the notochord, that will appear in the embryo near the primitive streak, and this is followed by neurulation, that is appearance of the rudiments of the nervous system. After first month of pregnancy, the heart will be formed. So a female can hear the first sign of the growing fetus is the heartbeat. So far she is not aware whether any life is forming inside her, and this is the first sign of the heartbeat that there is life inside her womb. Most of the organs you will find will be formed within 1 month. Now the entire gestation period is 9 months, as you know. It is divided into 3 parts. First 3 months is referred to as the first trimester, next 3 months as the second trimester, and the last 3 months as the third trimester. So by the end of the 2nd month, what you find that the fetus develops limbs and digits. By the end of the 3rd month, that means first 3 months, that is referred to as the first trimester, that means after 12 weeks. Most of the organ systems are formed, including the external genitalia. That means a doctor who conducts a sonography on a pregnant female, he or she will come to know the sex of the child, whether it will be a boy or a girl. But in India, it is banned to reveal the sex of the child, because in most cases, most of the parents, when they, in some cases rather, and especially it's rampant in some states like you have Rajasthan, Haryana, UP, where they want is a male child. So when they come to know that the unborn, the sex of the unborn is female, they might go for abortion. So this is banned, revealing the sex of the child of the unborn. Then during the first trimester, you will find that the fetus, I said before also, is, though its placenta, I said, acts as a barrier, but it is to some extent, because first trimester is very sensitive to the mother and to the fetus, because the fetus will be sensitive to antibiotics, drugs, infections and toxic chemicals. And what they do, all these, or if the female consumes alcohol or she is a smoker, that also affects the fetus. So they can cause is malformation of the fetus, and these agents that cause malformation of the fetus are termed as teratogens. Now during the 5th month, what is observed is eruption of hair. That means fine hair will start forming on the head. And this is during the 5th month, the fetus will also show movement. So it starts kicking its legs, arms, moving its arms. So the female can know that there is life inside. So they are going to show is the movement during the 5th month of pregnancy. By the end of the 6 months, that means by the end of the 2nd trimester, that will be about 24 weeks, the fetus will be covered with very fine hair, eyelids that have been formed will separate out, and eyelashes will develop. So what we'll be saying will be the watery environment. Which watery environment? The amniotic fluid in which it is growing. And by the end of 8 months of pregnancy, the testes in case of male fetus will descend into the scrotum. And obviously by the end of 9 months of pregnancy, the fetus is fully developed, fully formed and ready to be born, ready for parturition. Coming to the next part, that is parturition. So average duration of the pregnancy is almost 9 months, and this process of the delivery of the fully formed fetus is by vigorous contraction of the myometrium of the uterus. So the myometrium will undergo vigorous contraction, and that will lead to the delivery of the child to outside, and this process is called as parturition. And this process is induced by the nervous system and the endocrine system. So the signals of parturition, where it is going to originate from, a fully developed fetus and the placenta, and this is going to induce mild uterine contraction, and what is that called as? Fetal ejection reflex. And this fetal ejection reflex, what it is going to stimulate will be release of oxytocin from the maternal pituitary gland. Now the placenta and the decidua, that is the uterine endometrium, that is referred to as decidua, and at this point it is going to secrete will be the hormone relaxin, and that is going to relax the ligaments in the pelvis, soften the connective tissue of the pubic symphysis, that is holding the two pelvic girdles together, so that and also of the cervix for smooth parturition, for easy delivery of the child. Now coming to the stages of parturition. So the contraction, the uterine contraction that a female experience, which is very severe, that is referred to as the labor pains, and that can be divided into 3 stages. First is stage of dilation, which lasts for 6 to 12 hours. And what happens during this stage? There will be regular contraction of the uterus, and the severity of that will increase gradually. Plus, the fetus is present where? In the amniotic sac, and that is going to rupture. What you also say in common language, like bursting of the water bag. And so till now, before parturition, what did we see? That the cervix was blocked because high levels of progesterone secreted excess mucus that plugged the cervix. But now, when during the first stage of parturition, there will be dilation of the cervix. There will be opening of the cervix. Since the amniotic sac is going to burst, what is going to flow out will be the amniotic fluid. So that water will flow out through the vagina. So this is the first stage, that is stage of dilation. Next stage will come to stage of expulsion. So when the cervix has dilated, the baby's head foremost will move down through the vagina. That means head will come out first, then will be the rest of the body, and last will be the legs. And sometimes in case of some abnormality, the legs come out first, then it is called as the breech birth. But then that becomes complicated for the mother if that happens, because the head can get stuck down then. Now oxytocin that is secreted by the pituitary will induce stronger contraction of the uterine muscles, which ultimately will lead to the expulsion of the baby, so that it is got from the uterus, that means from the placenta, that will be severed off, broken, to the dilated birth canal, that is the cervix and the vagina, and will be finally delivered to outside. Last will be the placental stage. So after the birth of the child, there will be another series of uterine contraction, and this will lead to expulsion of the placenta and the remains of the umbilical cord. So after the birth of the child, the umbilical cord is cut, clamped, and that dries out later on, and that is how parturition occurs in a very simple form. Last part of this chapter is lactation. What is lactation? That is production of milk in the mammary glands. And we have seen during pregnancy, the female's mammary glands increase in size. There's growth of the ducts within the mammary glands, and these changes within the mammary glands occur because of the influence of human placental lactogen, estrogen and progesterone. So at the end of the pregnancy, they start producing milk by the process of lactation. The milk that comes out of the mammary glands immediately after the birth of a child is called as colostrum. This is very important because it's slightly thick, milky, creamish in color, and this is very important because it is rich in proteins like lactalbumin and lactoproteins, but low in fats, and that is going to give it proper nutrition to the newborn child. And most important is that it contains several antibodies like IgA and IgG, and that is going to provide passive immunity to the newborn infant. This is very important because immediately after the birth of the child, the infant's immune system has not developed as yet, and it can be prone to common diseases. So these antibodies which it gets from the mother protects it from various diseases till its own immune system starts developing. So that is why it's called as passive immunity. And as you know, you have done it before in the endocrine system, milk synthesis is under the control of prolactin, and the letdown of the milk from the mammary glands is controlled by the oxytocin of the pituitary. So that was all about the lactation, and with this we end the chapter on human reproduction. So any doubts you have, please text me, and in the next lecture I'll be talking about is the questions in the question bank. Thank you. That's all for today. God bless you.